It's the first rodeo of the season, and it kicks off in the Big Apple. Hey, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. We get you set for the Oilers and the Rangers on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Shawn Belle, Ben Thompson with you. Tom and Shawn live on location, Boston Pizza, Westgate 170th Street and 90th Avenue. Come on down, say hi. We've got some nasties coming out. It is an early one, 5 o'clock face-off or just after 5, and that means a 4 p.m. Oil Stream pregame show. And, of course, when we're finished here, we'll hand it back off to Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne for the conclusion of the Reid Wilkins Show. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well if you are watching. We appreciate that very much. Hit that thumbs up button. And of course, the pre and post game show brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Belzy, welcome to your first pre and post game show of the season. We're going to be seeing a lot of you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. No, this feels right. It feels nice.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
it feels good to be back.
It's a Tuesday long weekend. Everybody's got their turkey legs, and we're going to be here at BP having a bite to eat, and we're going to enjoy it. We've got a lot of prize giveaways. Tony has been reminding us of his David Tomaszek bets because he's very happy with the start Tomaszek has had.
As soon as I walked in, he didn't say a word.
He just smiled?
Yeah, he just smiled, and he already knows.
Yeah, he knows. So that's gonna be great. We have, okay, what do we have for prize packs? I'm seeing...
We got hats.
They're packages, so there's lots of hats and T-shirt combinations.
Yeah, a ton of that.
So some Molson prize packs. We've got a Heineken...
speaker right here.
Oh, we got a blue. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Coors Light Bluetooth speaker with a Coors Light dad hat. Yep. We've got a lot of koozies, the Heineken prize pack T-shirt, and a Heineken soccer ball.
Is that a Heine?
That's a Heine, baby.
Soccer ball. Okay,
and then the big prize tonight will be a Raptors coat, Toronto Raptors, and it's like the vintage throwback like 90s, the purple starters? And red. I don't know if it's a starter one, but Molson and BP usually combine for like really good. Like when they get stuff like that, it's like good quality stuff. Yeah. So that's a Raptors jacket. Right. And then we've got some BP's hats and T-shirts and koozies, and then $25 GCs that will also be given away.
All I want to win tonight is the Raptors jacket.
I don't know if you're eligible to be honest with you.
I should be.
Would you fit into a boys large?
We'll see.
Men's large. You said you're down to an XL now.
I'm down to an XL.
You've been putting in the work.
I've been trying.
You've been putting in the work. Ben Thompson, how you doing back at EST Global
I'm great.
HQ?
I'm great. Bellsy, you're looking big and juicy, not fat and sassy. You're looking good there, Bellsy.
You're looking good, man. Look at this guy.
Jacked and juicy.
Yeah, the whole hockey show has made its way to pre and post. So here we are.
More hockey, the better. Yep. Yeah.
No, but I'm excited for tonight's game. For 1.5 games at home, the Oilers played pretty well, and they get a chance to go on the road and bond as a team. Probably have the rookie party over this next week and have some fun. And so it should be hopefully a good road trip for the Orange and Blue.
Do you have a question of the night? Is it in regard to this road trip by any chance?
I was thinking about that, but I'm gonna go based off just tonight. Jack Roslovic making his debut. How will Jack Roslovic look tonight? Obviously, he missed training camp, and so he might look a little rusty, but do some people think, the skating he's been doing the past couple of weeks, will that set him up to look like a seamless fit tonight? Let us know.
You would have a better idea of this. Like, is he going to be shot out of a cannon, just like adrenaline, or is it going to be
that first game that you play? It's all adrenaline.
Okay.
You have a bit of a letdown, the second, third game, but the way that guys train now, like, I don't think it's going to be too much of a letdown, even if there was one.
Okay.
So I expect good things. Like, I like where he's slotted. He's got a playmaker with Nuge. He's got a guy that's got some speed on the wing with Savoy. Savoy's been like tenacious on the puck, which is nice to see. So I think he's going to be set up for success.
Okay.
I like this line.
You like this line? Yeah. We're going to get to the lines right now, actually. So the question tonight, Benny, throw it out there one more time, and then I'll fire out the lines.
Yes. Question tonight is, how will Jack Roslovic look in his debut tonight?
All right, text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. What are you giggling about before I do the lines?
Nasties right
what are they saying? Are they getting nasty?
Benched in the second period is what they expect.
Whoa,
wait, the guy's even played one game yet.
What are you talking about? Our board back, so I'm like, all right, we're gonna have some fun. Keep those texts coming in. We'll get to them. I've got the text line here. I heard Reid getting pretty fired up earlier.
Yeah, and Skinner.
About Skinner, yeah. I like, Reid, it's only the third game of the year, but I know he was talking about Philp, and I already see a text from Coach Mike that I'll get to. But let's go to the lines first. The Oilers rolling out McDavid with Draisaitl and Andrew Mangiapane, moving Trent Frederic off of that line, although he was much better, Trent Frederic was, against the Vancouver Canucks. Oilers played a really good game against the Canucks on Saturday night. Here's that line Belsey was alluding to. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins centering Matt Savoy on the left side, two righties like on his wings. And Jack Roslovic, the newly signed Jack Roslovic, will make his Oilers debut at MSG tonight. You've got Adam Henrique with Ike Howard and David Tomashek. And then Trent Frederic does go to center with Vasily Podkolzin and Kasperi Kapanen. You know what I see in these lines? A lot of veterans.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A lot of veterans.
And that fourth line with Podkolzin, Frederic, and Kapanen, that line can be heavy.
That's mean. That's a mean line when they want to be. When they want to be.
Good point. Good point, Benny. On defense, Ekholm with Bouchard. Nurse with Stetcher. No Alec Regula. Took that monster hit from Evander Kane. The big one behind the net in the third period, totally clean. The check from behind, Belsey. I don't like these checks from behind. It's becoming rampant in the NHL. I know you and I have discussed it on Hello Hockey, and you're seeing it with younger guys and in junior and elite, AAA levels. Not good.
No, it's not good. And I don't understand, like, where did that come in?
Remember when we were playing, you had the stop sign?
Stop sign on the back. But I mean, it's come to a point where now, like, there's a cross check. When you're going back for the puck, you're getting cross checked in the hips 2-3 feet from the wall. We've seen that a lot.
Dangerous.
It's super dangerous. And then now there's obviously the hits from behind, and those are just as bad depending on where you actually get hit from. So I don't understand why it's crept into the game, and the league has done so much to try to improve player safety. But they can't figure that one out. Makes no sense to me.
It's a head scratcher, and I'm sure we're going to be discussing it ad nauseum throughout the season. All right, the third pair for the Oilers, Kulak with Eberson. Out tonight, we talked about Regula. Noah Philp, Curtis Lazar are your scratches. I'm going to get to the Rangers, and I'm going to get to the injuries, and then I'm going to get to Coach Mike's question because it is in regard to Noah Philp. For the Rangers tonight, here's what we're anticipating. Mika Zibanejad with Artemi Panarin and Alexi Lafreniere. JT Miller with Will Cooley and Connor Sheary. Noah Laba with Johnny Brodzinski and Taylor Radish. Laba has been like a bit of a diamond in the rough. They found him, and he had a great training camp. I think it was Molly Walker was talking about it on EST Afternoons with Hernan and Joaquin earlier. Sam Carrick, former Oilers, centering Adam Edstrom and the big bad Matt Rempe. On defense, you got Vladislav Gavrikov with Adam Fox. Matthew Robertson, local product, former Oil King, paired up with Will Borgen. I've always liked Will Borgen. I liked him when he was in Seattle. I thought that would have been a nice pickup if the Oilers could find a way to get him. But he locked in with the Rangers, signed a new deal with them, so he'll be there for a while. Urho Vakanainen, fun name to say. We're paired up with Braden Schneider. No Connor Mackey or Juuso Parssinen for the Rangers. Your starting goalies for tonight for the Oilers, 26-year-old Stu Skinner, 0-1, 277 goals against average, 864 save percentage in his lone appearance thus far. He has a 3-1 record versus New York with a 225 goals against average, 926 save percentage in 4 appearances against the Rangers in his career. And then at the other end of the rink, it is the 29-year-old Igor Shesterkin, 2-1 this season, 0.67 goals against average, 967 save percentage, 1 shutout in his 3 games this year. He is 1-2 lifetime versus Edmonton, 365 GAA, 869 save percentage in 3 games versus the Oil over the course of his career. Got that monster contract last year, Belsey.
He deserves every single penny. Like, he has been an absolute brick wall.
Okay, well, he's going to be counted upon tonight at MSG. That brings us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977 for the oil regula upper body. I know it's kind of undisclosed, but I think we could put 2 and 2 together here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Matthias Janmark, IR undisclosed. Jake Wallman, IR undisclosed. Zach Hyman, IR wrist for the Rangers. Carson Soucy, IR upper body. Vincent Trocheck, week-to-week upper body. And then Brandon Scanlon, the other injured Ranger, undisclosed there. Okay, I want to fire this question to you. Coach Mike wants to know, or says, I'm surprised with Philp being the scratch after scoring on Saturday. Road trip prediction result as well. Belzy, what would you say to Philp being a scratch for Roslovic coming in?
I don't think there's anything that he did wrong. I thought he played some pretty good hockey.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like when you're rotating guys in, a lot of teams don't want to, sit a guy out more than 2-3 games at max. And so who's going to be the next guy that comes out? You look at the lineup that they have right now, and from what I see, I think Philp is still the easiest one to take out. It doesn't say that he's played bad. It's just he's the easiest one to take out. You're inserting Roslovic into the lineup, who's been a proven top 6 winger, for most of his time in the NHL. And so I don't think it should be looked as a slight towards Philp. I think he'll be inserted back in the lineup at some point here in the next couple games on this road trip for sure. And he's going to take somebody else out. So I'm not necessarily surprised by seeing him come out of the lineup. But I will say he has been good when he's been in the lineup.
Yes.
It's just, unfortunately, you have a player that's better than him, and he's at the end of the lineup.
There would be people, and Benny, chip in on this if you want to, but there would be people saying, well, Henrique's not doing anything. And, I really haven't seen anything from Mike Howard. Why is he still playing? Philp has barely played in the NHL, and there is that pecking order, seniority, meritocracy.
There is, and you would say the same thing about Howard, right? He hasn't been in the lineup a lot, but at the same time, he's one of their top prospects. He's a guy that they traded for, and they want to try to give as much runway as possible for him to be successful. So you don't think he's going to come out of the lineup?
Not yet.
He's going to be a staple in that lineup until there's a reason for him to come out of the lineup.
Right.
So right now, they've got lots of depth, and this is a good thing for Oilers because you want to have that depth.
Good point.
And unfortunately, guys have to come out, and it's not a slight. It's just, hey, Phillips, unfortunately your name is being called today, and Roslovic's going to go in, and then let's see where the chips fall from there.
Benny, you want to get in on this?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. With the guys that the Oilers lost over the offseason, you would think this team's maybe a little bit low on depth. But I don't think that's the case here. They have a lot of guys that can step in and play. A lot of veteran guys, but also some young guys, right? With Savoy and Howard coming in. Like all the shows I've basically been talking about today, it's most likely Howard that's going to get sent down when Janmark is ready. So I'd expect that to be the case, just because you want to avoid waivers with Philp and Lazar and all those guys. So, and it's not a bad thing for Howard to get 20 minutes a night. But yeah, like this team is very deep. I question their high end, top 6 talent. Like, I think they're still missing one more guy to fill that out. And what's up, Paul?
It's my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
I already know.
But yeah, so I still think they lack a top 6 winger, like a high end guy. But overall, they have some pretty good depth from 5 to 12 in their lineup, wherever they're dressing. Pretty solid guys that can play. So this forward core is shaping up pretty well.
Yeah, the guy that they're missing is he's a right-handed shot by the name of Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you add Hyman into this lineup, but I think the date right now that everybody's looking at is November 1st?
Like tentatively,
tentatively. So
nothing's changed
around
so
that
far
time.
that we've heard.
So if you add him into this current lineup, like I think you're going to get a very, very deep lineup, because that is a massive piece to their puzzle. And does that now, when you look at that with Hyman inserted into that top 6, do you now change your mind and say, hey, like we're strong in basically every area?
I think you can be pretty confident with your forward lineup. I mean,
Yep.
you're always desiring better and upgrades and all that, but at the start of the year, you look at that forward group and you're like, there's a lot of good players there, a lot of veteran players. And I'll conclude this portion of the show with this. These are good problems to have, where you're saying, man, you just got Noah Philp to score his first NHL goal in your best game of the very early season, and you got to take him out because you're putting in a guy who gets you 30 to 40 points every single year in Jack Roslovic, 20 goals, right? Like, okay, that to me is a good problem. And I know people's heartstrings are pulled in certain directions. They want to see Howard, give him more runway. They want to see Philp. He's earned it. What about Curtis Lazar? Maybe there's people out there going, hey, Curtis Lazar. I don't think there's a lot of them. Curtis Lazar, good hockey player, great Oil King, obviously. Great dude, but you have depth. A lot of depth. And my boy Janmark's also waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and that's exactly what teams want that. They want to be able to have different matchups, and they can, dress different lineups if they want. Okay, the game that we're going to see today, maybe it's a little bit heavier. Maybe we can dress a heavier lineup.
Right.
Okay, maybe we need to be a little bit more skilled. So this is a very good thing for the Oilers to have. And I will add to it, is because at the start of the season, there was so much speculation around what do they actually have.
Correct.
So to go 2 games into it, on all of a sudden, you're sitting back saying, we got a lot of depth. This is a great thing for the Oilers.
Knock on wood, so far so good. Let's see if it continues for the orange and blue. All right, it is the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We are live on location. Boston Pizza, Westgate. That is 170th Street and 90th Avenue, right across the street from West Edmonton Mall. Bunch of prizes will be given away today. Early one today. My dad's already here. I think his buddy Terry's coming. I know Combine Crew's going to be here. I know Benny's coming down. I know Derek Van Diest is going to come on the show right away. He'll be hanging out, and hopefully we get a bunch of nasties tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tony's here. We've been chatting with Tony. He wants us to remind everybody they have their Sim League coming this fall. You can see it over our shoulder. They have the golf simulator that they worked with Coors Light to get in, and it's a lot of fun. $20 an hour. That was the rate. Probably the best in the city.
It is.
That is pretty
Gotta be. Me and my buddies played that one time last year.
That's right.
Great experience.
Yes, you did. And then Sunday is football. You can come watch football here at Boston Pizza. Lots of game day specials. And they also have giveaways. And I think our next on location here at BP Westgate, it is Curtis's birthday. And Curtis from BP likes to have a good time. That's on October 26th. So come on down. We're going to have a lot of fun. And it's going to be Curtis's B-Day bash. And might be a few extra beverages and libations.
A few?
Yeah. That's an understatement.
Massive understatement.
Come on down. Join us. If you don't want to cook dinner, maybe you're around here, come visit. Lots of prizes we're going to be drawing tonight, and we're off and running here at BP Westgate. Always great. They do have the Sim League happening this fall at the golf simulator. They also have a lot of other games you can play on there, which is pretty neat, what you can do with the technology and the sensors and stuff. So come join us. It's fantastic. Great hospitality, great food, great times here at BP Westgate. Follow them, too, on Instagram.
Yeah.
They have their Instagram account, Boston Pizza. 170th Street is the handle. All right, time to get to Game Changers with Shawn Belle, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He's community-driven and understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Bellsy, number 1 early season road trip. You know these probably the best because you were the guy that organized stuff for the team.
Only once in a while. Later in my career, I was like that. No, this is a great thing. Sometimes when you spend too much time at home early in the season, things get a little bit stale. You can't really bond with your teammates. You can't come together. Hey, there's so many new players on this team.
Yep.
Despite the fact that the core is still intact, you want to get everybody together. You want to acclimate everybody to the Oilers, and you want to get out on the road, and you just want to be a bunch of boys and do whatever they do. So if that happens to be rookie party, well, guess what? Rookie party's happening. And it is a big thing because you want to see that team gel. You want to see them come together as a group so that they can have ultimate success, because that is something that teams do. And we talked about this last year. One of the things that Florida Panthers always talked about is they were a team.
Yep.
and they get to spend a lot of time on the road. So here we are. You got, I think, was it the next 5 on the road?
Five game roadie.
5-game roadie.
Yeah.
So this is it's a very good thing for them, and you can get up to whatever you want.
Okay, well, let me throw this at you as the savvy veteran that you are, having gone through the rigors of the early season road trip. So they flew in yesterday.
Yep.
They have a game today.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow we'll see what their schedule is. There might be a light practice, might be an afternoon practice. They're on the island at UBS Arena on Thursday night. I don't know what they're going to do on the Friday, and then they play early against the Devils on Saturday, and it's off to Detroit. Early game in Detroit on Sunday, and then they have a quiet day on Monday, and then they're in Ottawa on the 21st, which is the Tuesday, to wrap up this road trip. Where is their spot to go and fire it up?
Tonight? Probably.
I heard there's a place called the Bucks that they like to go to.
We don't talk about that.
Okay. I heard that's become the hot spot.
We don't talk about that.
Okay, well, Google's your friend.
I would say that probably tonight or against the Islanders is probably the opportunity that makes most sense. I mean, you play, what is that, Thursday at 5:30.
That's a 7:30 start or on Long Island. So tonight probably
is the best night.
Yeah, they'll probably have a table set up somewhere fun.
Go let your hair down somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So that's point number 1 on Game Changers early season road trip. Point number 2, Shesterkin Belzy.
So far to start this season, he has been absolutely dialed in. I think you mentioned he has a 0.67 goals against average. He's somewhere in the 980s. He's been playing unbelievable. He's earning his contract, and this is a guy that you have to try to get to. And it sounds very cliche, and the answers are going to be cliche, but you got to get traffic in front of him. You got to make sure that he can't see the puck, and he can't just stop everything clean, because as soon as he sees something, that thing is getting stopped for sure. So for the Oilers, making a move east-west, getting traffic, getting pucks on the net, being relentless around the house and winning that particular battle. And that's the way that you're going to beat the Rangers, because the Rangers actually have a pretty decent lineup. They're going to make you earn it. They're not going to give you anything for free. So when you have the opportunity and you have scoring chances, you got to make sure that you cash in on them. You can't just go in there and, flub shots or be soft around the net. You have to make sure that you're putting them in the back of the net as hard as you possibly can. Because if you don't,
they have weapons that are going to bite you in the butt.
Shesterkin can absolutely steal this game.
And then you got Zibanejad, you got Panarin, you got Miller now, and
Sheary is pretty good. Like, they've got a lot of guys that can put the puck in the net. So you have to make sure that you're ready to go, and it's going to be a big game.
Do you like Mangiapane on the top line with McDavid and Draisaitl? He's got 2 goals in 2 games as an Oiler. What do you say to that?
I've liked him since he was in Calgary. And that sounds crazy, obviously, living in Edmonton and appreciating another player on a different team, especially in Calgary.
How dare you?
But he's got exactly what the Oilers needed. He's got some tenacity. He's got finish. He's in people's faces. Like, I think he's a perfect fit for those two.
Okay.
Because he can go in the corners. He'll dig pucks out. He'll get them to the guys, to get Connor, to Leon. He's been fantastic, and I can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do on that top line.
All right, so Andrew Mangiapane joining Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the top line, and we're also going to see Roslovic slide in, make his Oilers debut with Nugent Hopkins and Savoy. So 2 right shot guys on Nugent Hopkins' flanks. If you didn't catch it earlier, Adam Henrique between Ike Howard and David Tomaszek, and then you have Trent Frederick going from the top line wing to center on the quote-unquote 4th line with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Do you think he's discouraged, or how do you handle this if you're Trent Frederick?
He's a player that's been able to go up and down the lineup. I mean, he had his shot with the big boys. It didn't go as planned, which is fine, but he's a perfect, middle 6 forward. So if you have to play on, the 4th line, quote unquote, well, that's fine, because it suits his game. He's a big physical player. He's got to get in on the forecheck to be effective. And when you're playing against a team like the Rangers, who have Rempe on the 4th line, they have JT Miller somewhere floating in that middle 6 as well. You want to have a bit of a deterrent as well. So he's going to be a big-time player for the Oilers tonight.
All right, this is Game Changers with our game analyst, Shawn Belle. Game Changers is always brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number 1 was early season road trip. Belsey went with Shesterkin for number 2. Point number 3 on Game Changers. Belsey, keep limiting those chances against.
I think this is the first time I've ever talked about this, but 18.5 shots against per game, which is
early in the season, but
early in the season. It's only been 2 games, but we couldn't say that last year.
True.
And so the defensive game has been a lot better to start the season. The way that they've come out to start the season as well has been a lot better than previous seasons. So if you can continue that trend where you're limiting scoring chances and you're making it hard for opposing teams to get to the net, to even get chances, you're going to have a better opportunity to win games.
Simple.
Pure and simple.
All right. I heard Reid talking about this earlier. So right now the Rangers at home this season 0-2, and I think they have yet to score a goal on home ice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's probably not.
I'm looking for that. Let's go to their game log really quickly. So if you're wondering about the Rangers, they opened up the season with a 3-0 loss to Pittsburgh at MSG. Then they went on the road for 2. Buffalo, they won 4-0. Pittsburgh, they win 6-1. They dummied the Penguins, and they come back home and lose 1-0 to the Capitals. So, yeah, they have yet to score a goal at MSG so far this year. That's interesting.
Hopefully the trend continues.
Well, let's see. Joaquin on ESD Afternoons was talking about that.
What did he say?
Well, he used the word that you're not supposed to use.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say that Skinner's going to come out and he's going to have a great game.
Okay, there we go. I think that's okay to say.
Yeah.
The decision really quickly before we go into the Oilers locker room, the decision to go back to Skinner, what do you make of that?
Well, it's his net.
He's the starter. He's been declared the starter.
I kind of heard Reid talking about it earlier as I was walking into the studio in the station. It is his net. And as much as Pickard played really well the last time he was in the pipe last game, it's still
he had 15 shots
it's
against.
Still Skinner's net.
Right.
And until he relinquishes that or gives them a reason to relinquish that or get rid of him or whatever that looks like, we are going to continue to see them try to ride
Stu Skinner. Right. Okay. That was Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. We're going to go inside the Oilers locker room. We're going to hear from Jack Roslovic making his Oilers debut. And then on the other side of that, from NHL.com, Derek Van Diest will join us to take a look at the New York Rangers. Let's go hear from Jack Roslovic.
It's been fun. The guys have been welcoming and easy locker room to come into. So it's been great in that regard. It's always nice to start on the road to get guys around each other. So it's good to get that bulk out of the way early. Haven't spent much time in the city, but familiar with it and excited. We're going to see. I mean, hopefully we can create a good identity and be able to produce, be able to keep the puck out of our net. Really just try to dive in head first here, but we'll see what we can build here soon.
What's it like, sort of being new to a group like this? This core has won a lot. What's it like being one of the new guys as part of that?
Yeah, like I said, I think they do a really good job at being able to take guys in. I've conference finals the last 2 years, obviously losing to Florida before I got to play these guys, but you kind of see that as the trend, and they exceed that. I think it's a great core of guys that know how to adapt to new faces and bring them in. So, like I said, starting on the road will be great to be able to see guys, meet guys, and do some bonding.
Did you know anyone before?
Yeah, Freddie played the program with Freddie, so that's about it.
I know that you haven't had a lot of time to settle into it. Now we're on the road, but is it nice just knowing mentally that you have a place to land and call home?
Yeah, even if it is the JW. Just excited to come here and have a great opportunity to play with some great players, play in a great organization, great franchise, and play in front of some electric fans.
That's fine.
All right, Derek Van Diest joining us now from NHL.com. That was Jack Roslovic talking heading into his first game as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. DVD, welcome back to the pre- and post-game show.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. You just came to eat, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I just came to have some fun, enjoy eating, and just like, hey, you want to throw on them? I
I'm
no problem.
kidding. No, you're our visitor.
It's all good.
Report.
I enjoy talking hockey, so anytime. I know people always say, you must hate people coming up and talking hockey. It's like, no, that's why I do it.
That's why we do it.
That's why we do it. I have an opinion. You want my opinion? I'll give it to you.
Terry Lashin texting. I'm listening to your show on my way to Boston Pizza. Okay, he says, keep up the great work. Thank you, Terry. My dad's lonely. You're his buddy. Why are you late? I'm just kidding. We're going to have a great time here at BP's Westgate.
Rush hour, Tom. That's why.
It's rush hour. I know. We have a ton of giveaways tonight if you want to come on down. If you haven't been to a Boston Pizza on location pre- and post-game show, it's a great time. And we're all going to be here for the entirety of it. And we'll be doing the post-game show as well. I mean, you can do whatever.
I should have brought my clubs. I just saw that they had the
Right?
$20 an hour.
I actually think I have my clubs in my truck.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're a lefty or a righty?
Yeah, I'm lefty.
You're a righty, yeah. Oh,
But I bought a Sunday bag so I can throw 4 or 5 clubs in my bag.
You've been very, very prudent at improving your golf game. They do have a sim league here, by the way, and that gets going this fall. And then on the 26th, we're back here, and it's going to be Curtis's birthday.
There we go.
We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the visitor report here, and let's take a look at these New York Rangers. 0-2 on home ice. They have yet to score at MSG. It's very early in the season. They've already played 4 games. They won both the road games. How do you look at the Rangers, DVD?
Well, I caught their game the other night, and Washington, they're having trouble scoring. They had chances. It's not like I think there was some great chances there, but I think generating 5-on-5, I think they're going to struggle because I think they're a little top heavy, and then when you want to generate stuff, you want to keep teams pinned in, and you need all 4 lines or at least the top 3 lines to kind of keep that rotation going, especially when you got pressure on a team. And I think there's a drop off there, and I think that's what the Rangers are going to struggle. They're not going to. They have some high-end talent. They have some guys that can score. They have some really good players, but I think there's a big drop-off between second and third and fourth line, in my opinion, and I think that's where they're going to struggle this year.
So do you think if you're opposing teams against the Rangers, you just try to line match your top two, and you say, okay, like we're gonna play you heads up, power on power, and then let's see what your third line, fourth line can do, and see if they can beat you?
I think so, and I think the Oilers, to me, the Oilers' third and fourth line are far superior than the Rangers. And if you do that today, you play power on power. I think that's where the Rangers are going to struggle. They're going to the third and fourth line are going to have to be okay. Well, let's just get off the shift and not give up a goal. And I think that's always they're not going to create much. They're not going to generate much for you. And that's what I've seen early. Like I could be wrong. I know I've read a lot of Rangers previews. We have a lot of guys in New York, obviously all over the Rangers.
You have a lot of guys in New York. You have a big staff.
Have 7 guys there at the game.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. We just our office is literally overlooking MSG.
Yes.
We have our bosses and stuff and the workers. Let's just pop into the Rangers game. Go watch Connor McDavid. So who knows? A lot of NHL.com people might be at that game.
Probably. Yeah. There's probably going to be quite a few. I thought I heard Steve Wino. I think Wino's going to be there, our good buddy.
Well, if he was there Wino lives in New York now. I forgot.
He's Associated Press.
He's Associated Press, and he moved to New York from Washington. So, yeah, he'll probably be there. Listen, Connor McDavid's a draw wherever you go. Sure. And he only goes to New York once a year. So this is a big event. This is a big thing for the Rangers, for the Rangers fans. They get to come and watch Connor McDavid. I'm glad that he's signed because there would have been a lot of talk. Because maybe we can get Connor McDavid.
It would have been just
how much of that talk would you have had to endure? If imagine Connor McDavid going to New York and answering those questions is, hey, is there any chance you come in here next year? So, but yeah, he's a delight to watch. And I know that there were some people who even went to the morning skate. And the Oilers skate at MSG. I think the Rangers still do it in Terrytown. I think they have a practice facility. So the Oilers had the ice to themselves today. And I know that I saw some tweets about people going, wow, this guy just practicing is impressive to watch. So I think it's going to be a fun game for everyone there tonight.
All right, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com joining us live on location, Boston Pizza, Westgate on 170th Street, 90th Avenue. If you have any questions, fire those our way. 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Belzy, Gazzola, and Benny Thompson with you along for the ride, and we'll hand things off to Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne at the conclusion of the pregame show. This Rangers lineup, DVD, not really an overhaul, but they added some pieces. They get Miller in that big trade last year, make him the captain. They add, I'm looking at like Vladislav Gavrikov. That was their big get in the offseason. They've got the goaltending settled. I don't know about the rest of the line. Like, they bring Mike Sullivan in. Like, is this a good team like it was supposed to be, or are they still kind of lost and kind of trying to figure themselves out?
Well, I think they're still going to try and figure out that identity. Sullivan's obviously a winner. He's won in Pittsburgh, so he comes over and he has to change that whole culture in New York. And I think that's something that takes time to do. You do it during training camp. You do it through the first few games. But, you know what? I'm happy for Matthew Robertson, former Edmonton Oil King, you know, in there playing top 4 minutes and doing well. But yeah, you look at that lineup, and again, Carrick and Rempe, Rempe only plays 5 minutes a night, maybe 6, depending on how many penalties he gets. So those guys, don't get. They love him there because he does run around, but he does, he does run around. He big hits, big fights, and that's why they love him there. But you know, he's an impact in that way, but he's only going to play 6 minutes. Yeah. So I think that's the issue with the Rangers now. But they're going to have to figure out what kind of team they want to be, what their identity is, and you know, they were close. They were there. Close to a Stanley Cup final. President's Cup. They were only a year, 2 years, 2 years removed from
President's
winning the President's Trophy.
Yeah, 2 years.
But then they've kind of changed everything up. So it's going to be interesting to see. They got the goaltending. They spent money on the goaltending, and now you see how it comes together for them.
Yeah, like when I look at this lineup today versus what they were, you know, when they were considered a team that was supposed to be contending for a Stanley Cup. Those particular teams were very skilled. They're very offensive, and they'd be willing to trade with you chance for chance. The team that we're looking at right now with JT Miller kind of in that second spot, like they're a little bit harder to play against. And I think that's what they wanted to try to get to, right? Like everybody's afraid of that big bad team down in Florida.
Yeah.
And teams are trying to figure out a way to be like that. Yeah. But still add their own spin to what they're doing. So when you look at this lineup, you have your high-end talent with, you know, Artemi Panarin. You've got your high-end talent with Mika Zibanejad. But now you've got a lot of compete, and you've got guys that have got some sandpaper. And are they deep enough? Probably not. I would agree with you, you know, when in your assessment that, you know, their third and fourth line, there's a massive drop-off.
No Trocheck either with the injury.
Right? So that would be another piece to that puzzle. But to me, they seem like they want to try to be harder to play against. You go out and get a Gavrikov, who is a guy that's hard to play against, you know, solidifies that top pairing with Fox. They're not deep enough, but they're definitely trying to form that identity of, okay, we need to have a little bit of snarl in their lineup, and we're not going to allow you to have anything for free. No,
I agree with that, because that's what happened in the Eastern Conference Final, right? They were kind of bullied by the Florida Panthers when they were there, and then I think they felt that, okay, we need a pushback guy, and we need a guy, you know, and as much as like we talk about Matt Rempe when we saw him here in Seattle, he's not going to play a lot in the playoffs for you. Because he becomes a liability when you put him on the edge. So you need guys that aren't a liability, that can score, and that do have that meanness to them. And I think those guys are hard to find. And I think you're right, Belzy. I think they're trying to just change that identity from a highly skilled hockey team to one with a bit more grit.
It's funny looking at the Rangers now, and obviously they have guys that were part of those really good New York teams, Panarin, Zibanejad. Miller was there before he ended up I think, did he go to Tampa then the Canucks, or was it Tampa, New York, Vancouver, something like that? But he returns to New York. No Chris Kreider for the first time in forever. No McDonough. No, I know Callahan has been gone for a little bit, but like those guys that were like staples. No Hedl. He went to Vancouver in that trade. A lot of those guys that were good players aren't there anymore, and you're like, what is this Rangers team? So I kind of look at them like this. They're searching for that identity. Can you just beat teams up in the Eastern Conference? Can you just do that?
Like, we can bully them a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think, well, you should look at Florida's lineup. They just keep coming at you and kind of bullying you off.
Ottawa kind of does that too,
Ottawa
right?
can do that too, right?
Yeah.
They're built around that Brady Tkachuk identity, so they're there.
Well, I mean, look at Montreal. Look what Montreal's done.
Yeah.
They went out and they've got a little bit heavier as well, because the Eastern Conference, you know, when it comes to pace of play, it's a little bit slower, but it's heavier, because everybody's trying to be built like Florida, because that's how you have to get out of the Eastern Conference. And then in the West, you know, you have your teams like Vegas, you have your teams like the Oilers, you have your teams like the Wild, the Stars, the Avalanche. Like, the pace of play is very high, and the skill set is very high. And so it's just two completely different divisions or leagues, I guess, is the best way to describe that, because you have the physical, a little bit slower, and then in the West, it's fast and it's high-paced and it's high-skilled hockey.
Yeah, the script has flipped a little bit because it used to be that way in the West.
Yes.
And in the East, you had the smaller, higher-paced guys, more skill hockey.
Yep.
In the West, you had the big, heavier teams, right? You had the LA Kings, or a big, heavier team. You had some of those teams that were big, heavy, and would lean on you. And you're almost seeing like a shift in philosophy. And that becomes because the Panthers said, well, we're going to be a big, heavier team. And I think they've got that success. So if a team has success, everyone kind of follows that. And if you want to knock the Panthers off that pedestal, that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to, you cannot let them lean on you, not let them be chippy with you, not let them do those things, that they do. And I think that's the reason why I think a lot of teams are following suit in that direction.
Let's take a look at the goaltending matchup. You got Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers. Belzy was talking about that was a point that he made on Game Changers, and then you got Stu Skinner between the pipes. DVD, your beat is the Western Conference Canadian teams. You're based out of Edmonton. What do you make of this decision to go to Stu? Because people were saying, not a lot, or enough people were saying, what about the hot hand? Calvin Pickard won the game the other night. What do you say to that decision to go to Stu?
I think it's a little early to be talking about hot hand. And Stu is your guy. So if you want Stu Skinner to be your guy, remember we asked
Knobloch said that.
Knobloch. We asked Chris Knobloch that at the beginning of the year. How are you going to deploy your goalies? And he talked about, we have a plan. He wouldn't give us the number, whether it was 75-25 or 60-40 or whatever it was, but he have a plan. And I think the Oilers really have to figure out, is Stu our guy? Is Stu our guy? We have to put him in situations, play him, because if he's not our guy, we have to go get someone else. We need to give him, the time to figure out, okay, is it the same Stuart Skinner that we had? Plays well, let's in the bad goal, or plays well, let's in the bad goal, or is he more consistent, playing well, and can he take his game to that other level?
Right.
And I think they need to find that out. So you got to play him. You know what you have with Calvin Pickard. Calvin Pickard's going to be a backup. But you need to know, is this? Are we going to go 3 times with Stuart Skinner here, or are we going to have to find someone else? And I think you have to figure that out. You have half a season to figure that out before the trade deadline.
He's smirking.
I am smirking. So, basically what we're saying is that it's his crease until it's not.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to point that out.
I
think here in Edmonton, he's such a lightning rod for controversy.
Yeah.
People actively want him to
but
fail.
Every goalie has been. Who hasn't been a lightning rod?
I agree.
Right? They've run so many goalies out of town here. Ask Gager about it.
They ran him out of here twice.
Right?
Yeah, and it's it sucks because he's a hometown guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to fight and figure out how he can become a number one goalie, a true number one goaltender. And he's so polarizing because yes, it's that bad goal that goes in an untimely fashion or untimely manner where people just lose their mind. But he's done the work. He came in 25 pounds lighter. To lose 25 pounds in the summer as a pro athlete, that's hard to do. And you have to train a certain way, and you have to be almost regimented to a point that you're a little bit crazy to be able to do that, because so many guys are trying to lift weight and they're trying to, have a certain type of physique and do things a certain way. So he has put in the time. And that's a positive sign. If you're the Oilers, you want to see your goaltender come into the season, doing everything in his power to try to be better.
Yes.
So while you're trying to figure that out, well, you should at least allow him to play.
No.
And if it's his crease, it's his crease until the wheels fall off. And then when the wheels fall off, hopefully there's a guy in Bakersfield that is figuring it out. Or you can go out and try to find a trade so that you can improve the net.
No, I agree 100%. I think the one thing I think we have to – this team was kind of designed to win now, right? They built through it. But McDavid's in his 11th year. Dreisaitl's is in 12th year. Nugent Hopkins has been here forever. The core of this team has developed. Darnell Nurse has been here for a long time. This is only Stuart Skinner's 3rd year, and he was accelerated.
Fourth now,
I guess.
Yeah, I got you.
But he was accelerated. He's pushed into this position. He was supposed to develop behind a guy that was supposed to be the number one, and then you have Stuart Skinner kind of take over, and he was kind of thrust into this position, and he did well when he did it. But I think he still has his best years in front of him, and I think that's something that I think you have to kind of take into account, that the team is a little ahead of him in terms of development. And this is very much like Devin Dubnyk. Devin Dubnyk was supposed to be ahead of this development. They thought, it takes forever to develop goalies for one. It takes a long time. Yeah. Unless you're a special goalie, it takes you a long time. just say your goalies aren't as good. 30 years old is when your goalies peak, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where what happened. Look at these older, the better goalies in the league. There are exceptions. Don't get me wrong. There of course there are exceptions. So, but I just do think that he's still in his development cycle, and I think that's what I think fans have to look at. But you look what happened with Devin Dubnyk. He left and became an all-star, right? Everyone thought his career was over. He became an all-star. So. With
Freddie Chabot as his goalie coach in Minnesota, by the way.
The fun, yeah. So I know you can't preach patience when you're trying to win now, and maybe that's why they have to go get a guy who knows that is ready to win now, an older guy at the deadline. But I still think you have to see if Stewart has developed, how far he's come from last year to this year.
I'll just cap this, and then I know Belzy's got something. People asking or wondering about Connor Ingram. I was told today that he should be ready to play by this weekend. The Bakersfield Condors face the Barracuda on Saturday, and then they face the Coachella Valley Firebirds on Sunday. Belzy, sorry.
Yeah, just looking at the nasty chat, and the one is that X-Ray J. Why does everyone have an undying faith in Stu, yet nobody has faith in Pickard?
Well, I think everybody likes Pickard. Go ahead.
I think everybody loves Pickard. That's my former roommate. I love the guy to death.
Yeah, you saved his life.
But here's a fact. He was out of the league a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
And so he's worked his way back in. So awesome for him to do that. But he's a backup. He's a perfect backup. He's a guy that for 20 to 30 games can come in and give you really good hockey because the guy battles better than anybody. But when you get to that 40, 50, 60 game mark where you become that number one, he hasn't been able to do that. That's not a shot at him. That's just a fact. And so right now you have a guy in Stuart Skinner who has been groomed or was being groomed at the time to become your number one. Unfortunately, Jack Campbell, things went sideways there.
Yeah.
And so he got thrust into this position that is almost similar to a bit of like a quarterback situation in the NFL where you are so front and center. There's so much spotlight on you that was he developed in that proper way to be able to handle, that spotlight? I don't know, but it's tough. But I think that's why so many people consistently go back and they say, well, no, this is Stu's net. They're not taking shots at Pickard. They're just saying that Pickard, that is where you are. That is who you are.
NHL
backup. Stu, you're within your first 4 years of being a starter in the NHL. Try to figure it out.
Nice.
Very well
said.
Yep.
All right, DVD, I know you're a hungry boy, and you want to know the Combine Crew's here. Good to see everybody. And I just we talked about it a little bit as well, this road trip through the New York area this early in the season. I know if you were on the road with the team like we used to be, our eyes would light up if we saw this schedule.
Well, it would be awesome, but I feel kind of bad for some of the rookies like Isaac Howard and Zach because they're doing the rookie dinner in New York. That's happening.
That's tough.
And that's tough on the wall.
It's real tough.
Yeah, they're gonna find some really fancy restaurant. I predict it's gonna be New York. They got New York, New Jersey, New York Islanders, and then Jersey. So between that Islander and Jersey game, they'll find some good spots.
We figured tonight's the night for green light.
Green light, perhaps, but it depends on how well they play tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, and I think the beauty of New York trips. I'm not sure if they still do this, but they would stay in Manhattan and then go out. Stay in Manhattan and go out and stay.
Bus to Long Island, bus to Jersey. So I mean that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and then you're in a hotel for a week. I've done that. It was awesome.
Yeah, you have home base. Base. You know what was great? You stepping in, doing the visitor report. Great to have you on location as always. Go enjoy. My dad's probably going to pick your brain on a million things.
Good. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Derek Van Diest from NHL.com as we take a look at the Rangers and this matchup tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. If DVD's around, and maybe we'll let him hang out with us on the post-game show. It's up to Belzy. If you don't want him, just say, just do your thing. Go away.
Go on,
get out of here. All right. It is the Oil Stream brought to you by GCL Diesel. You could text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Gazzola and Belle on location. Boston Pizza, Westgate, 170th Street, 90th Avenue, right across the street from West Edmonton. Benny Thompson at the EST Global HQ. Benny, you want to hop on? We haven't heard from you in a little bit. What'd you think of what DVD had to say? Any texts that stand out to you? You want to hit on anything really quick?
I was gonna bring up the extra. I was gonna bring up the X-Ray J one, but Belzy beat me too. I like the.
He wanted it.
Yeah. No. The rookie kind of dinner, New York sounds pretty cool. That would be a pretty sweet ride. As Belsey nods his head at me.
Not a chance.
No, what, hurt the wallet, or was it more just
yeah. If you have to pay 10 sheets per rookie, like look out.
Oh boy.
Would they have 10 sheets each by now? Probably.
Yeah, because most of them have bonuses.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They've got it.
Woof.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I missed mine in with Minnesota.
Did you?
By 3 hours. I got sent down right as we were starting to get ready. No, it was so good because Josh Harding had to pay 15 by himself.
Yikes.
And then a bunch of the guys chipped in. So
wow.
Classic. All right, we got a few texts to get to. This one from Sean says, "What's the Play Alberta odds of Trent Frederick at Matt Rempe dropping the gloves? What do you guys think? Those two getting after it. No Klapka versus Frederick in that first game.
I don't think I'm going to see a Frederick in Rempe fight today.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
I think it'd be more actually who would on the Oilers then? If Rempe is looking to throw, who goes?
Nobody.
He's
listen, he's awesome. He's an Alberta boy. I think he's from Stoney. He played for the Spruce Grove Saints.
Yeah.
Played for the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Yep.
Awesome. Love him. But leave him on the ice. I want him playing. So no, don't even bother wasting your time. Rempe, I need you to skate with me today. Yeah. That's how I would view that one.
I don't blame. Yeah, the Oilers don't really have an enforcer. You know, like you're not. It's not like a. Oh, here we go. Here's the heavyweight matchup tonight. It's like the Oilers really don't have that type of guy. They're probably too good of a team to have one of those guys. If we're being honest, but yeah, I doubt that happens. But I think if they do go, I don't even know. Like, I would love to see Pods fight again. It seemed like in interviews after he said he doesn't like fighting.
He's very good at it, though.
He's very good at it. Yeah, he took down Lazon in what, 2 punches or something?
He caught him so clean with a couple of those in Nashville that one game. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just about the game tonight. It's a big one for Edmonton. You're starting a road trip. You'd like to start off with a win, and the Rangers, we don't know what they're going to be this year. You know, we have no clue if they're going to be a lottery team or if they're going to be a team that wins their division. Like, honestly, they're the biggest what if team this year to me. So I'm excited to see what happens.
All right, let's get to your game day odds check, brought to you by Play Alberta. Everything that you play with Play Alberta stays in Alberta, safe and secure. The revenue generated from Play Alberta is redirected into Alberta's General Revenue Fund, which is used to support programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. EST50 promo code. That's a $50 deposit for a $50 free bet. EST Casino Belsey, $50 deposit for a $50 casino bonus. And then, you want to get a little Nino action on the app, right? And then EST Sports, all one word. These are all in capital letters. That's another $50 deposit, and you get a $50 free bet. I'll probably be doing that for the Thursday nighter, and I'll lean on Dusty for a good bet there. Going and riding with him and maybe Huss. We'll see how that goes. The money line for tonight, Edmonton minus 143. The Rangers plus 121. The over-under set at 5.5, boys. The under is the favorite at minus 137. The over at 103. What do you think? Are we getting that under, or is it going to be the over? Belsey, you go first.
I'm going to go over. I think it's going to be 4-2.
Okay, so 5.5. Benny, what do you think?
I think with Shesterkin and starting goalie Stuart Skinner, it's going to be a low-scoring game tonight, and it's a 3-1 Oilers win.
He's taking the under.
No.
Taking the under.
That's a very safe bet, Benny. Got to live a little, buddy.
If you're going to bet, use your game sense.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That's what we like to say.
Exactly.
All right, a couple of stats to spit out your way as we roll into this game. The Oilers are 22-14-2 all-time at MSG with 6 ties. Remember those? It's been a long time since the NHL incorporated ties. The Oilers have won 3 straight visits to New York, and Edmonton in its last 12 games against the Rangers, 9-2-1 record. Both teams facing opposition from their respective divisions for the first time. So the Oilers facing a Metro team for the first time, and the Rangers facing a Pacific Division team for the first time. The Oilers power play, boys, 2 for 9 this season, 22%, 10th in the NHL right now. PK 13th at 83.3% with a shorthanded goal scored. That was a Draisaitl empty netter. The Rangers, meanwhile, 2 for 11 on the power play, 18.2%. That's 18th in the NHL. And the PK for New York tied for first with, I think, 3 other teams with 100% efficiency rate. That's pretty good through 4 games.
Yeah, it is.
So the Oilers will try to break that goose egg. We'll see how it goes. Belsey, final thoughts from you.
I think it's going to be an exciting game. I know that you just mentioned that, the Rangers are at 100% on their PK.
Yep.
But I have this sneaking suspicion the Oilers have 2 guys that know how to break dominant PKs, and I think you might see a power play goal tonight.
Okay.
Courtesy of Leon Draisaitl.
All right, I like that. That's a good bet as well. You can jump on that prop at Play Alberta. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Live on location. We're here at Boston Pizza, 170th Street, 90th Avenue. That's Westgate. Come on down, visit. We got a ton of giveaways there. We've got gift cards. We've got hats. We've got a Bluetooth speaker. We have a soccer ball. We have a ton of koozies and T-shirts. Come on down and join us. There's game day specials, $1 off, I think, the big pints of beer. And you're going to have a great crowd here. You can see the nasties that are here. Kelvin and Margie are here. Oh, Jay and Andrea are here. Terry's here. My dad's here. DVD's here. We've got the Combine crew are here as well. So come on down, join us, and take advantage of the fun. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. For Benny, for Belsey, I'm Tommy Sake. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Coming up next, the final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and Zachary Koob. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the Oilers and the Rangers.
Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Koob.
I'm Zachary Koob, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the nasty stuff.
All right, we're back. Oilers Rangers set to go as the Oilers start a 5-game road trip. We have not one but 2 TVs for the game. We have the ESTV, which is over to my left.
Dueling TVs.
And then right on this, there's a monitor right next to my right wrist that has another TV. You've set these up. Now, what's going on with these? They're the same but different?
Well, here's the thing. I can't see the ESTV now.
See, with Dustin has a wall of monitors.
Dustin has mount monitor to my left, viewer right. I can't see anything over here.
Why would he put those there?
Could be a robber. Somebody.
A robber.
A robber. A bad person right there, and I couldn't see.
True.
So I need to then engage this monitor, which I've hooked up to my laptop, to watch the game. So We are now dueling TVs. Well, you are. You're going to have.
I'll be able to see
You're going to have the choice.
Yeah, I just turned my head a little bit and I can see both. But you don't think they're synced up by any means?
They are not even close.
Okay.
So if you were watching the ESTV, you're going to be about.
Which just went into error mode, buddy. Due to league restrictions, this content is not available in your region.
What?
Which is weird to me that we would be blocked from watching an Oilers game in Edmonton.
Well,
Koob's trying to fix it. We're going to have a special guest from your Edmonton Elks in a couple minutes as well. Kenny Logan, 3 interceptions in his last 4 games. Koob has fixed it. So we're now I can see how far off they are. This is going to be pretty. There's a nice shot of Manhattan at night. Have you been there? I can't remember.
Manhattan?
To New York? Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's a great town. Oh, and now I can't watch on this. This one's also blocked.
What is it?
Why are they blocking us? Due to league restrictions, this content, I think you have to actually pick the Sportsnet West feed specifically as opposed to any other one. And Gene Principe is doing an open with food. He's pouring sauce on something. Wouldn't you know it? You got to love Gene.
Leave it to Gene, hey?
We'll keep you updated on this one. Roslovic making his Oilers debut. Noah Philp coming out of the lineup. Mangiapane going up to the line with Draisaitl and McDavid. Frederick will center Podkolzin and Kapanen. Stuart Skinner will be your goaltender. Alec Regula is out after getting knocked around by Evander Kane a few days ago. So it's hopeful he'll return during this 5-game road trip. The Oilers are hoping Jake Wallman plays on Thursday and Matthias Janmark by the weekend. So if all those guys get healthy, someone will have to be sent down. But we'll deal with that as we move along through this road trip. Also, over the next hour, by the way, give us a thumbs up if you're watching us. This is a new stream. So if you thumbed us between 3 and 4, you can thumb us again between 5 and 6, which is pretty cool. Kenny Logan Jr. in a couple of minutes. We'll have buying or selling for Damon Bunting. We'll touch on some Blue Jays storylines as they are in dire straits here going back to Seattle. And, of course, we'll do our words of the day presented by Edmonton Public Library. Great to have them on board for that.
Got to get the details sorted out, but it's fun.
Well, they are presenting it. Mm-hmm. What is Gene eating?
Turkey, stuffing.
Oh, he's doing the Canadian Thanksgiving leftovers in New York. All the Americans must be like, why is that man eating turkey? It's not Thanksgiving. What's happening? All right, the Oilers have won 5 of their last 6 games on the road against the New York Rangers. They won 3-1 last year. Remember they had a big game that kind of got them going a couple years ago. They were down 3-0 and got 4 goals in the third to pull out a win. That was a significant one. So they've done pretty well playing on the road against the Rangers in recent seasons. The Elks are alive. They are in trouble, though.
Yeah.
They really needed Calgary to lose that game to Hamilton. The Elks did their job. They got a win against Winnipeg. So the Elks are 7-9. They do not have the tiebreaker against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They are a game behind. So for the Elks to finish ahead of Winnipeg, they would have to win both their games and have Winnipeg lose both. For the Elks to finish ahead of Calgary, the Elks would need to win both their games and have Calgary lose both of theirs. So the path for the Elks to make the playoffs is they cannot lose a game.
No.
And they need one of Calgary or Winnipeg to lose both their remaining games. If one of them wins one game, it's fine. Well, unless it's Calgary beating, but that would be the Elks winning both of theirs.
Well, they need Calgary to lose this weekend, this upcoming weekend. Because then they control their own destiny. If Calgary loses to Toronto at home,
yes,
and Edmonton wins in BC,
right,
Edmonton controls their own destiny.
But the Elks must win both their remaining games starting Friday. And even that might not be enough. Because if Winnipeg wins, the Elks win, and Calgary wins,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Even if the Elks. So the Elks can win both their games and still not make the playoffs.
Correct.
Unfortunately. But hey, all you can do is keep holding out hope.
Well,
I mean, at 1-6, we didn't think they'd be in this point. I was saying all season long that 8 wins should get them in the playoffs, and I felt pretty good about 9 getting them in the playoffs. They actually could get to 9 and still miss the playoffs.
True enough.
Which would be unusual, but it's possible.
Well, and I said this to you earlier that they beat Calgary in the Labor Day rematch. They've beaten Saskatchewan. They've beaten Winnipeg. Those teams, they've all beaten in the second half of the season.
Right.
They haven't played BC since very early in the season. So BC has not faced Edmonton. They're this version of Edmonton, where their defense is playing much better. Their offense is a lot more consistent. So I absolutely believe that Edmonton can go into BC Place and get that victory. The only thing I'm doubting the thing I'm doubting the most is either Saskatchewan to beat Winnipeg or Toronto to upset Calgary.
And Saskatchewan is going to rest some players.
Yes.
And Toronto is not a good team. I mean, a few things. If the Elks miss the postseason, and look, to be perfectly objective and go by the odds, that is the most likely scenario, is that they will miss the postseason. And what are you going to look back on? Starting 0-4 and 1-6? Or was it whatever they started? I can't remember if it was 0-4 or 0-3. They didn't start well.
No.
And then maybe that loss to Toronto, who weren't a great team. I mean, they were down to their, third quarterback by the end of the game, and the Elks gave up a field goal in the last play of the game.
Well, if you want to look at the nail biters throughout the season, you can start with the Hamilton, where they were driving late in the field.
Yeah.
Cody Fajardo puts the ball right where it should be, and it's a drop.
Yeah.
Right? Hamilton and Toronto, back-to-back walk-off victories, ending the game on field goals, game-winning field goals for the opposing team. So, yeah, I mean, but if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, Reid, but they're not. So, yeah, I'm hopeful or confident they can go and get the win in BC, but they need a lot of other help.
Yeah, but hey, at least, we'd like them to be in a playoff spot, but the games are still meaningful here going into the second last week of the season. And, I know it's hard for people to hear this. It's hard for me to hear it as someone who also is a season ticket holder. But it looks like there's been real progress this year. I think we went into the last couple of off seasons hoping there was progress. I think there's more of a foundation built. And look, to be optimistic, and people will know I haven't always been overly optimistic about the Elks this season. They have won 6 of their last 9 games. Mm-hmm. And as you've said, 2 of those losses were on last. They had the play on the lead on the second last play of the game in 2 of those losses. We've seen improvement. We've seen the defense play a lot harder. We've seen the offense improve. We've seen Rankin become like a true explosive talent in the league. So we'll see where we go from there. We got David? Okay, we have to call an audible here. Kenny Logan Jr. Had to alter his plans at the last minute. So we're pleased to welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show, Elks offensive lineman David Beard. David, you're on with Reid and Jay. Thanks for pinch hitting. How are you doing?
Hey, fellas. Doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. Appreciate you on the show. How was practice today? How was it getting back to work after that big win?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good time of year. The cliche goes this time of year, you always want to be playing the cold. So it was a nice, crisp day in the cold. So it's just a good reminder, a little taste of the potential playoffs that we're working for. So it was good. It was a good day.
Okay, I got to ask you something here before we dive into some of the ins and outs of Saturday's game and what's coming ahead this weekend. The Elks on social media and on their YouTube account post a game ball video that features, Kilam talking to the team and then, teammates presenting game balls to their teammates. Take us in the locker room for those joyous moments after a win and what those game ball moments are like.
Yeah, I think they have a special way of spotlighting guys that put on a great performance. And, a little extra something to make guys feel special and reward guys for making an impact with effort and performance. So it's awesome. It's been an exciting season in terms of dishing those balls out, and it's been a lot of fun. I think there's been a number of guys we've spread the ball around a little bit and recognized the different efforts, and it's just a lot of fun. Guys get fired up about that. I thought it was a cool little twist too that Kilam brought the firefighter helmet for the special teams operatives. So it was awesome this year getting that added in there too. So,
all right, one of the stories, and I don't know if you heard me talking about it rolling into your interview here, but Justin Rankin, who was pretty darn good last year, but I mean, he's really, I think, cemented himself as a breakout big play player in the Canadian Football League this year. I mean, you've been blocking for him. Obviously, as an offensive teammate, you'll be around him a lot. What's it sort of been like watching him truly blossom this season?
The guy is unbelievable. I mean, anyone who's been watching the games is staring at number 5, trying to see when is the next play that he's going to break free for a big run or a big catch. So he's absolutely electric. It's so much fun playing in front of him, and he makes us look so good because so often he'll turn what would be an average gain into an absolute explosive. And in terms of last night, on game night there, we had a 3rd and 2 where he took it from 64 yards, I think it was, and it's something that he's taking advantage of what the defense is giving him, and he's turning it into touchdowns. So it's an absolute treat being a teammate of his. He's a lot of fun to work with. So hats off to Rankin.
David Beard, Elks OL lineman, joining us today on the Reid Wilkins Show. I mentioned you guys are 6-3 in your last 9. That's a really good record. And when I was watching you guys earlier in the season and talking about you guys on this show, I often said to myself and to the listeners, I don't know if they control the line enough on either side of the ball, quite frankly. But now the D-line is getting more pressure, getting more sacks. And actually, I think you guys on the O-line, I mean, you're making holes for Rankin, you're making some holes for Leak, and Fajardo is not getting sacked as much. Now, look, that's just me observing it. You're right in the middle of it. Has there been a shift on what the O-line has been able to do right at that point of attack as the season's gone on?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you look at the statistics, some of our better performances have been on the back half this year. First half of the year, you know what? Reid here, back it up a little bit here. I'm pretty sure earlier in the year I was on your guys' show and I said the name of the game, particularly for the Edmonton Elks this year, is how fast it's a race to get onto the same page with the coaching staff, the players and the coaching staff. That's what I think I said, and I've been thinking about that all year, and it's gonna show its head in terms of what the results getting in the playoffs will be shortly. It's a name of the game is getting on the same page, and as the year has gone on, we've gelled more as a group. That includes the running backs and receivers as well. And the statistics have shown positive results in that way too. So it's just been a race to get on the same page, and it's showing the effort or the reward and the effort. So
Elks center David Beard joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. David, the addition of Carter O'Donnell, obviously, that's a guy I think most teams would want. But just in speaking to what you just said, it's a race to get on the same page with your coaching staff, and you're starting to see that happen. And then you have a totally new player come in at the guard position on the O-line. How tough is that transition? Because, offensive line is a communication-based position for the group. So how was that, and how has Carter O'Donnell been fitting in with that group?
It's been great. Carter's been awesome. And to tell a little story, it's funny. When Carter came into the lineup, I think it was the Toronto game. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I believe so. Anyways, it is hard. It's hard to get on the same page, and there's only so much time to get all of this immense amount of intricate details communicated and learned in meeting rooms and in the practice field before the game. So I remember being in that Toronto game and making one of our calls and relaying a concept to the rest of the offensive line, and Carter leans over to me mid-play, right before the snap. What does that one mean? I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. But to Carter's credit, he guessed right and he executed the assignment very, very well. So it's, there is a lot of growing pains and there's a lot of getting guys on the same page, but hats off to Carter because he was very, even when he's uncertain, apparently he still can make the right decision. So no, he's a real treat to play beside, and got nothing but good things to say about Carter.
You talked earlier, you and Reid were talking about the burst that Justin Rankin has and the ability to turn a routine run into a home run. What did it mean, or what does it mean when you guys come out the first drive of the second half, 3rd and 2 on your side of the center line, and your coach calls a running play on 3rd and 2 and says, "The heck with it, we're going to go for it." Does that fire you guys up as an offensive line group?
Oh, totally. You know what? I am not envious of being a play caller or a high-level coach in this league. It's it's a very difficult job, and there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. And there's a lot of decisions that you make that you might be playing the statistics or the odds or the tendencies, and it still doesn't pan out. So it's a thankless job in a lot of senses. But that's so far above my pay grade. It's nice when you're on the field and you're kind of hoping you're going to hope for a certain answer, or a certain decision, and then it hits, and it's a nod to your offense, and it's saying, you know what, I believe in you guys. We're gonna give the ball. You guys put the ball in your hands, put the game in your hands, and we expect you to execute. And there's a lot of excitement and angst because there's that extra pressure. You have to execute, or things go really south really fast. So it's a real treat to get those kind of nods, and we sure appreciate it.
David, I'll just finish up here. I mean, look, you know the situation. You still need a little bit of help from some other teams to make the postseason, and of course, you guys have to get your wins as well. Like, are you a scoreboard watcher? Go on the website and think about all the different possible combos. I mean, that's what me and a lot of fans are doing, but I know it's different for players. How do you approach the tension and all the combinations of these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever thought of it more than I have this season. This is probably the most I've ever thought of it in my career. I've definitely been trying to keep up with the complicated permutations of the leaderboard. So it's we're trying to stay on top of it. And bottom line is this: we need to win out, and we're gonna need some teams to lose some games here. And one of the beauty things about this weekend is obviously we're hoping for Calgary and Winnipeg to slip up on something, and I think Calgary plays after us, so we get the extra bit of horse blinders to just focus on what's in front of our faces and get the job done in front of us. We're not going to be so worried about somebody else's game because their game is going to be after ours, so it's kind of a little extra bomb.
Well, it is interesting because after you guys fell in Toronto, the last, the walk-off field goal, and there was some emotions on the sidelines, as you can, attest to. The Argonauts coach Ryan Dinwiddie made a comment after the game that says essentially the Elks, you guys can go and enjoy the offseason. So wouldn't it be quite the story, David, if he actually propels your team into a playoff spot with a victory over the Stampeders? I just find that would be so CFL, right?
Irony would be, like glass. It'd be just perfect. So,
all right, David. Thanks for pinch hitting here. Always appreciate your perspective. It's awesome talking to you. And go get them on Friday against the BC Lions.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great night.
David Beard, Elks OL lineman, checking in. Love talking to him. He joined us when he was still a Tiger Cat in studio, right, at our old studio before he'd signed with the Elks. Yeah, I mean, I think you heard up there in his answer that he knows the percentages maybe aren't in their favor, but if they win, at least they put pressure on other teams to win as well. But yeah, I think Carter O'Donnell's been a great addition. And speaking of the game balls, they mentioned in the game balls, hey, no sacks today.
Right.
Now, and of course, Fajardo's going to get the ball out as well, but I think that's improved and clearing some holes for Rankin along the way. And that 3rd and 2 play was such a massive play. I mean, it just brought this, because the first half it ended with a missed field goal. And let's face it, tough play for Blanchard. I know he had a couple misses early in the season in BC. That's sort of was feeling about ancient history, and then he fires that one significantly wide. So you're thinking 13-10, we still got a rouge. It's 11-10. So even though the Elks went to the locker room with the lead at the half, it felt a little, could have been better. And he missed one earlier in the game. So you're thinking it's 11-10, could have been 16-10. You're sort of thinking about the points left on the table instead of actually having a slim lead. And then a couple minutes into the half, they go for it on 3rd and 2, shades of not going for it on 3rd and 2 in Hamilton earlier in the season, and they don't just get it, they reel off a touchdown run. And then, hey, I know Winnipeg fought back, and their receiver made a great play, but then, you had the Bombers every minute that went by, the Elks got that other touchdown on the weird play. You put the Bombers in a situation where you need things to go perfectly to come back. That was such a massive play for Rankin to reel that off. Were you surprised they went for it there?
No,
and it's probably a yard and 3/4 to be fair.
Yeah, but that's those points in the game where you got to say, okay, are we playing to win? Are we wanting to win this game? Let's go get it. Let's control our own destiny and go get it. So I was very happy to see that. And I mean, that play to me was just give Rankin the dang ball and let him do what he does. I mean, he outran 3 defenders.
Yes.
Right? I mean, this guy, next year is going to be a different year for this team entirely, I think. If they can hit the ground running, carry over from this year, they're not going to have as much turnover, which we've had several different team members allude to.
Yes.
Right? Cody Fajardo said that right off the start of the season, that sometimes it takes these teams with high turnover time to gel. So we're seeing that. We're seeing a totally different team in the second half. And yeah, regardless of how this season ends, this is an improvement.
Yeah, and it'd be amazing if they somehow could get in. But
it would be like poetic justice if it's because Toronto beats Calgary and Dinwiddie can chew on those words that he had.
Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999, by the way, is how you can text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks. That's available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Almost halfway through the first period. No score between the Oilers and the Rangers. We've got a while without a whistle here because they're still waiting for that first TV timeout. Summary from what I've seen, Oilers had the puck a lot early, but were being outshot 2-0 because, quite frankly, I think the Oilers passed up some shots and had a couple blocked. Skinner made a pretty good, I don't know if it was like a half poke check, half save, but there was a player cutting in from the left wing, and Skinner sort of got his leg and his stick out. I don't know if he got credited with a save on the play, but he kind of was able to get the puck out of the danger zone. So quick recap there. I mean, I don't know how much you saw it, but it looked like there were some times where it's like, can you just shoot?
Right.
Like Draisaitl cutting into the slot, extra pass, and then they didn't get shots away. But shots 3-2 Rangers, no score, 10:25 left in the first period. If you are got us on YouTube, thanks for sticking with us. Give us a thumbs up. Let's see how high we can get to here. We are going to have buying or selling for Damon Bunting. We're going to have our words of the day. And, of course, at the technical desk, Zachary Koob.
Just over 10 minutes into their game, the Oilers and Rangers are scoreless. Stuart Skinner in the crease for Edmonton and Jack Roslovic's debut for the Oilers. Shots in favor of New York 3-2. There's 3 other games live. Maple Leafs up 1-0 over the Predators. Jake McCabe getting on the board for Toronto. Just about 9 minutes left in the first frame in that game. And the Capitals trailed the Lightning 1-0. Jake Gensel scoring for Tampa Bay about 10 minutes in. The Canadians and Kraken are also tied at 0s 4 minutes into their contest. Elsewhere, the Canucks have returned Sherwood Park native Braden Coots to the Seattle Thunderbirds, with the 18-year-old playing the first 3 games for the Canucks season, nearing 11 minutes a night, going -2 so far on this season. For the Elks, Robbie Smith, Jared Brinkman, and Nick Anderson were limited at practice today. Anderson with an abdominal injury, Brinkman with a shoulder and toe issue, while Robbie Smith continues to recover from an ankle injury. Game 2 of the NLCS goes between the Dodgers and Brewers. Milwaukee trailing 1-0 in the series, losing 2-1 last night. First pitch goes just after 6 o'clock. For the Jays, John Schneider has confirmed that Max Scherzer will start Game 4 of the ALCS against the Mariners. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at AdvantageSportMed.ca to book an appointment today. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Koob Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The Oil Dream.
Vancouver and Calgary, I watched most of the game. There was some passion in that game. There was a couple borderline checks from behind that ignited the passion. But I watched those two games and I thought, man, like these teams really hate each other. As much as we talk about Edmonton and the Canucks, I feel like it doesn't boil over to the extent I've seen in some Calgary and Vancouver.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons at noon. Only in Edmonton Sports Talk. Your choice for Edmonton sports.
The Alberta Snowmobile and Power Sports is back October 17th and 18th at the Edmonton Expo Center. See the 2026 Snowmobile sleds, ATVs, decks, GM trucks, gear, and accessories. Meet third-time X Games pro athlete Levi Lally. Presented by GMC. AlbertaSnowmobileshow.com.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses. Because we know healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Win Plywood Leduc, family owned and local owned since 1993. From materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor project like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got it covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
River Cree Resort and Casino, K97 present Nazareth, the Canadian Farewell Tour. Live in the venue. Second show at October 19th due to the huge response. Nazareth tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
No score, Oilers and Rangers, a little bit past the halfway point of the opening period. As Stuart Skinner, big save on Will Cooley. Bit of a dreadful turnover by Bouchard behind his own net. Centering past to Cooley all alone in front, and Skinner able to turn that away. So up to the challenge so far. Shots are 4-3 for the Rangers, but they've had a couple of dangerous ones. I still think the Oilers have had the puck more in this game, but it's
been a very equal game.
Yeah.
I think the Rangers have had more scoring chances.
Better scoring chances for sure. I think the Oilers, again, have passed up on a couple of shots.
But I mean, Bouchard makes a poor decision behind the net, but then immediately after leads a rush up ice where he, makes
that's the beauty of Bouchard.
That's it. That's the package right there.
Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Your play of the day. Now, you can't wager on it anymore, right? Because the game has started. But what was it again?
So it was Oilers win, Mangiapane one or more points.
Oh, so Mangiapane to get a point with the big boys and the Oilers to get a victory. Well, like I said, they have won 5 of their last 6 road games against the New York Rangers, so they will try to keep that going. All right, we're going to dive into buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. I'm going to start this one, and I'm going to flash back to Saturday night. Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. No, the Elks, yes. The Elks went into that game with a 13-point deficit in the season series against Winnipeg. They were down 5, 40 seconds left. Buying or selling, they should have pushed for a touchdown and a 2-point convert to tie the season series.
Ooh. I said this in the pregame in our kickoff show. The most important thing was to get the win. So they go for that. They go for that play and they fail. And Winnipeg comes back and scores. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Caps lock, OVER. So I understand. And the best they could have done was tie the season series. They didn't have the season series.
Right.
So I understand what Coach Kilam was thinking, that this is just get the win and live to fight another day.
Right.
And that's the truth. That's the most important thing at that point. However, it does go along with the narrative that we've seen from this team. And that's why I was so happy when they did go for that 3rd and 2 early in the second half.
Right.
Where you're asking, are they being aggressive enough? You know? Like, have we seen any sort of a razzle-dazzle, fake anything, fake punt, fake field? Like, really nothing. It's a very conservative,
nothing too wild
approach. Yeah. Which, okay. I mean, if you're, at this point, you're 10-7 and you're in the play, okay, I'm cool with that. But in your position where you need stuff, you need wins, you need other things to happen, I just feel like you probably could have been a bit more aggressive. Now, ultimately, though, the most important thing was the W, which they got.
Right.
So, they live to fight another day. They're going to need help, yes. Is it impossible? No. Is it unlikely? Yes. But still, they live to fight another day. But, we just talked with David Beard about, the improvements in this team. I mean, you look at this team's defense, Reid. This team in the turnover ratio was -5 through week 8.
And rarely, they didn't have an interception for a heck of a long time, right?
No. They had one, and it was Jake Serezna's helmet.
Until Ford got the one that MBT threw to him.
That's right, in Montreal. In the last 9 weeks, they are +14. That is incredible. That is winning the turnover battle. Now, that's not just the defense. The offense has a lot to do with that too, because they have to take care of the ball.
Right.
But, I mean, I really like what I'm seeing from this team moving forward.
So, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So the way I'm reading the tiebreaker, if the Elks had got a touchdown on a 2-point convert and won by 13, then the season series against Winnipeg would have been dead even. So then, if I'm reading this correctly, it would have gone down to the record within the division. So then, if the Elks would have beat BC or Calgary or both, Winnipeg also has a divisional game left too, though. Winnipeg's 3-6 within the West. Edmonton's 3-5. So Edmonton could hypothetically get up to 5-5. And if Winnipeg then only won one of their final 2 remaining games, even if it was against a divisional team, so you could argue Edmonton still could have gone further down the tiebreaker. But I think also, I mean, this is the thing. You would have had to have a lot go right just to tie the tiebreaker.
Yes.
If you throw 2 passes and you give Kolaros the ball with 30 seconds left on his own 40, and he hits a couple plays and Winnipeg scores and wins the game, then Kilam is being criticized for just not taking the win and being happy with it.
Yeah.
But, the 2 missed field goals in that game. And look, I think Blanchard overall has had a good rookie season, but that was a tough game. I mean, that was 5 points missed right there on his 2 misses, which weren't like he wasn't trying 57-yarders.
Well, and that's a good point you bring up, because you can say, well, it wasn't just Blanchard. You look at the punt the punt return that went bingo bango bongo pinball, and it ended up in Cordell Jackson's hands, running it in for a touchdown.
Right.
But okay, then what about that catch by the Blue Bombers, Ontario Wilson, that in the end zone? That might be the greatest catch we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those 2 things canceled out. Those were somewhat fortunate. Blanchard left 5 points on the field.
Right.
That is the difference. And that at the end of the game, that could have been the difference in saying, okay, we really do need to go for this.
Because they could have tried to kick a field goal at the end of the game.
That's right.
And then, yeah.
But no matter what they did at the end of the game, it still would not change the fact that they need to win out. They need to win out. They cannot afford a loss.
Yeah, and they still would have needed help.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So this was the probably, I mean, hey, if they get into the playoffs, this was absolutely the right choice. But, the team's winning. The team's playing much better than we've seen in several years. Fair to say?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they've had little bursts in these other years out of the playoffs, but it was often against... I mean, I know they have a couple wins against good teams, but it was often, against bad teams or, well, they played okay, but Ford made a couple spectacular plays. Like, they're playing, especially defensively, they're playing solid, sustainable football.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving good quarterbacks fits. Like, they baited Trevor Harris into a couple picks. They picked off Kolaros twice. They're that third down gamble late in the game. I mean, nowhere near the receiver. Right. I mean, they went deep, and I know Winnipeg fans were like, why throw deep when they needed 4 yards? Well, maybe that's all he thought he had.
Yeah.
And then there was really nothing down the field. So there has been progression all around. And by the way, I know you don't like talking about kickers. Julian punted very well.
Oh, fantastic.
On Saturday night.
Very good directional punting. Put their offense in tough positions to start, that being the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense.
Yeah.
Off the leg of Jake Julian. So, yeah, he's been fantastic.
2.5 left in the first period. Still no score between the Oilers and the Rangers. Roslovic made a pretty nice play going down the left wing, curled back and set up Stetcher, who got a backhand away from the slot. Actually, a few minutes ago, Bouchard had a good look from the high slot, and Shesterkin made a really nice glove save on that one. So 7-5 now, the Oilers out shooting the Rangers as we keep an eye on that game for you as well. Jay, buying or selling? Same thing I asked the boys when I did 2 guys and a goalie today. Buying or selling? There will be more baseball in Toronto in 2025.
Well,
I think it's coming back to Toronto. I just think, okay, baseball is a game of slim margins, a good pitching performance or a hot bat or something like that. I think the Mariners bullpen has outperformed and is probably flat out better than the Blue Jays bullpen, but I still think the Jays bats are going to come to life. I also think, hey, the pressure shifts to Seattle now. You won this amazing 15-inning game at home, and you won on the road, and now you're a team of destiny, and you can win this in your own stadium and finally make the World Series. I think some things shift now to Seattle having to deal with some expectations and high expectations. So I think the Blue Jays can get it back to Toronto. I'm not saying they're going to win the series because the Mariners are good and winning 4 out of 5 is going to be tough. But I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to buy that the Blue Jays get it back to Rogers Center, or Skydome as we called it when I was a kid.
Yeah. I think it all hinges on tomorrow night's game. If the Blue Jays can get that game, I think they're back in obviously they're back in the series, but I don't know. They're going to Scherzer in Game 4. He has not looked that impressive as of late.
Well, we haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, right? But even when he was in, it was pretty toss-up.
Right.
So I don't know, Reid. I'm gonna buy. I don't think it is coming back to Toronto. I'd love for it to come back to Toronto.
You're going to sell.
Or I'm going to sell. Sorry, I'm going to sell that I don't think it's coming back to Toronto. Should we get a limerick in?
Oh, yeah, we got to do a limerick or two.
Let's do a limerick. This one comes in from Bronco Nick. Oilers are ready to play in the Big Apple, playing the Rangers in a primetime grapple. Does Stu act like a sieve? In Game 1, we relive? Don't make me go pray in the chapel.
Oh, my goodness.
Very good.
Well, both goalies have made some good saves.
Yes.
Probably a couple for Skinner and one for Shesterkin here as they're into the last 20 seconds of the first. But they haven't had a power play, right? No, there's no penalty in this.
Hardly any stoppages, to be honest.
No. Yeah, it has clipped along, actually. Yeah, we're not even at 5:40 quite yet. Again, Roslovic definitely had that one play where he showed some good offensive instincts as the Rangers are just going to run out the clock, getting the puck back in their own end. So no score after the first period. Oilers and Rangers. Trent Frederick, of course, centering his own line in this one as they march off the ice in a scoreless tie. We are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Taco Tuesdays just leveled up at the Canadian Brewhouse. All day, $3.49 new tacos and quesadillas. After 4 p.m., sip on $5.99 margaritas, $2 off Corona tankards, and tequila shots starting at $5.99. This is Taco Tuesday. We're back on a Tuesday. Keeps feeling like a Monday.
Hey.
But it is a Taco Tuesday.
Taco. I love tacos.
Do you have any buying or sellings?
Well, okay, here's something I'll just bring up.
Okay.
Is that they won, and Fajardo played quite poorly.
He didn't have his best game.
He was 13 of 24, 142 yards. His season average on his completions is 76.7.
Right.
He was at 54.2.
And I thought he threw a pick six in the fourth there.
It was very close.
That was a tense throw.
Yeah, and but for them to win a game, and Fajardo's not, it used to be if your quarterback was playing, if your quarterback was playing awful, this team didn't have a chance.
Right.
But that defense stepped up. Special teams, lucky bounce, but they stepped up and delivered.
Buying or selling? Bombers are on their own. Where were they at the end of the game? 8? Something like that? 18? Handing off to Oliveira instead of trying a chuck. Like, were they actually thinking he's going to run 100 yards for a touchdown because the Elks weren't expecting a draw?
But he probably gets a bonus if he rushes for a certain amount of yards.
Think it was?
I'm serious.
You think
yeah,
it was?
Absolutely. Because when they came onto the field, Cody Fajardo went like this, like we're just going to kneel it out, which I couldn't believe. But yeah, he ripped off a 26-yard run.
Yeah.
So hey, that goes towards the bonus check. I guarantee.
Okay, now the Elks, you've been in that situation as a safety. They were really far back.
Oh yeah, you're just trying to slowly maneuver them into one spot and slowly come together. Because if you overcommit in those situations, there's a lot of field to work with, and that can turn into something crazy happening.
Right,
really easily. No, you have to really think about those plays. Those are hard. You'd almost be better suited just to say, okay, we're going to get in the box and play it normal, except our corners and our safeties are going to be super deep.
Right.
Because he's not going to throw the ball 100 yards.
Right.
You still have to complete a pass.
Yes.
But no, those are tense situations.
Yeah, well, remembers the Milt Stiegel play.
Yeah.
When I think they brought pressure. I think they blitzed 5 or 6 guys.
They did.
Which wasn't smart. I was having
no, I wouldn't do that
flashbacks
one.
All right. Words of the day coming up. Oilers in the first intermission. Scoreless tie against the Rangers. The Alberta Blue Cross courageous moment coming up when we get back as well.
The Oilers and Rangers are scoreless after 20 minutes from MSG. Stuart Skinner in between the pipes for the Oilers, stopping 6 of 6. 8 shots on goal for the Oilers against New York's Igor Shesterkin. And the Canadians are up 1-0. Alex Newhook against the Kraken. About 8 minutes left in the first frame. And Predators trailing the Maple Leafs 2-0 in the final minute of the first period. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with his first of the season for Toronto. Elsewhere, we see Tampa Bay up 1-0 over Washington as they're about to wrap up 20 minutes of action. For the Elks on their injury report, Robbie Smith, Jared Brinkman, Nick Anderson were absent from practice today. Anderson with an abdominal injury, Brinkman with a shoulder and toe issue, while Robbie Smith continues to recover from an ankle injury. In Game 2 of the NLCS goes between the Dodgers and Brewers. Milwaukee trailing 1-0 in the series, losing 2-1 last night. First pitch goes at 6:08. And for the Jays, manager John Schneider has confirmed that Max Scherzer will start Game 4 of the ALCS against Seattle. In Dallas, the Mavericks have signed head coach Jason Kidd to a multi-year extension. Kidd being the head coach in Dallas since 2021. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Koob, keeping you up to date.
The Lock Shop. I thought Yasavage got hosed yesterday. All of a sudden, you go from striking out the first pitcher or the first batter and having the play going nuts to having 2 on out. And then, of course, J-Rod was swing that, if the Mariners win this series, I think we'll look back at that top of the first inning yesterday as one of the crucial points in the entire game.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as experts in diesel fuel systems, but you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borgner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we provide you with the turbo or customer you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Ulsterfest is back at the Canadian Brew House, Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stuffed Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, Weiss John, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show. We have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to spot a Trane. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing, digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Hope you're having a great afternoon. First intermission, Oilers and Rangers. No goals to report as the Oilers start a 5-game road trip. They will be at the New York Islanders on Thursday, along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Thanks for checking out our show. We have the Alberta Blue Cross Courageous Moment. Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed just for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Okay, we're going to go to the NFL. I thought this was an incredible play in a tight game, and it's going to lead into the question is Baker Mayfield right now the front runner for NFL MVP this year? Koob, roll this run.
Shepard out there, his old college teammate. But he's not going to have a chance. Oh, yes, he is. He fights through the sack. Looking for first down yard. Oh, my goodness, he's done it again. Oh, that is pure Baker.
That is pure Baker Mayfield. 3rd and 14 in the third quarter, and he goes for a first down. Look, he has thrown 12 touchdowns and only 1 interception. He's 4th in the NFL in passing yards. He's averaging 7.2 yards per rushing attempt.
Yeah.
And his team's 5-1. I mean, Baker Mayfield is right now, I think, the NFL MVP. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to last, obviously.
Yeah.
But, man, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are for real. For real.
Yes, they're interesting teams. I mean, Indianapolis doing well. I just checking here. I think Mahomes is now the odds leader, but Mayfield has risen.
He had one. They had one great game and beat Detroit, and now he's back. It's back to Kansas City. Everybody fear Kansas City. But they're good. They're going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
They're going to be a pain in everybody's ass in the AFC. But yeah, I mean, who would have thought what Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts are doing? Jonathan Taylor's having a massive year. Atlanta and Michael Penix. Bijan Robinson just doesn't stop.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, there's some performances going on in the NFL.
And I got to say, like, I watch the Seahawks a lot as a Seahawks fan.
Playing very good. I
see them, like, that is a good defense. Like, speaking of the Elks defense comes along, it's not as if they have, I mean, they have good players, but they've also had some guys out. And they sacked Lawrence 7 times in Jacksonville. And that Jacksonville team, you saw what they did in their Monday night win over the Chiefs. Like, they look like, oh, who's going to stop that offense?
Right.
Well, Then we got 2 touchdowns. What did you think, by the way? Why did they do this? So it was 20-6 for the Seahawks because Jacksonville had missed an extra point. Jacksonville got a touchdown and they went for 2. Why not just get within 7? Like, what's the thinking there? Or is the thinking maybe if you have 2 drives that end with field goals, then you still tie it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at what point in the game was that? I can't remember.
It was in the fourth quarter. It was later.
So they're trying to get points. Maybe go for a win that they
and then
didn't
maybe
deserve.
You win it later. Yeah.
My Commanders last night. Ooh.
I was like, I didn't even, because I watched some baseball and then I watched the other game and I was like, I didn't even want to watch Washington, Chicago because I hate watching the Bears. And then I was like, well, I guess I got to watch this. But they fumbled.
Wow.
Without the fumble, they win.
And
right?
this is the thing. I mean, everybody's, the Bears are back. The Bears culture. I couldn't believe how many times I saw the word culture last night, recapping the game that the Bears eked out against Washington. Gave them the game.
I agree.
They gave them the game. Jaden Daniels was awful last night. He had a fumble, an interception, and that handoff to Bill Krosky-Merritt. That was on Jaden Daniels.
Right.
So he was responsible for all 3 of their turnovers. And then they hand the ball to Chicago. Like, Chicago, get out of here. You're not. This is not. The Bears are back.
No.
They eked out a win against possibly the worst Commanders game I've seen with Jaden Daniels at the helm.
Yeah.
Awful tackling on defense.
And they should just stick with their normal uniforms.
Oh, I do not like the Commanders black. Get rid of those.
No, just like the maroon or burgundy or whatever it is.
Those are iconic.
Sharp. Yeah.
Those are
like those new, like modern iconic.
Yes.
Like they changed the name and they redid the uniforms where it's still sort of their same colors from before the name change, but not really.
Oh,
and like you know how much I like what they've done with the kind of
they pop
burgundy. Yeah,
they pop.
Yeah, and I was like, why are you just wearing? And that's another thing. Like, we'll just have a black uniform. Then do something, do a different variation, or do a like, I know they can't use that logo anymore, but then do a throwback with a modern logo or something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the black jerseys.
I'm just yelling at the cloud here.
That's fine.
No score, Oilers and Rangers, second period coming up in a few minutes. All right, word of the day presented by the Edmonton Public Library.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
First word of the day, imprimatur.
Holy crap.
Imprimatur.
Oh, wait a minute.
Imprimatur. Imprimatur.
I'm going to take a stab at it. I am Pramatture. Horribly wrong.
Not horribly. IMPRIMATUR.
Oh, I should have got that actually. I'm going to say that this is someone who is ready to ascend to the throne.
Would you like it in a sentence?
Yes, I would. I like guessing when I don't know.
Though not an official project of the theater, the drama festival has its imprimatur. I don't know how that's going to help you.
Say that again.
Though not an official project of the theater, the drama festival has its imprimatur.
They have its. They have a series of performances that they do every like as an annual tradition, as a yearly custom. I don't know. Nothing. No points.
Imprimatur is a formal word that refers to explicit approval or permission.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Imprimatur.
Okay. Well,
0 for 2.
Bad. Tough word, though.
Well, you should get this. Second word of the day, placate.
Placate. Placate. And this means to sort of to placate, like to satisfy somebody when they've been complaining about something. Or
Dun, da, da, da. 2 out of 4. Not bad. The actual definition is to appease.
Yeah.
To pacify.
Yes. Like I hoped that my Dairy Queen sundae would placate Matthew Awanek.
It's hard to placate
after he
him.
was all grumpy and growly. All right. Thanks for sticking with us. So here's what's going to happen. The Edmonton Sports Talk live stream on YouTube, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn Radio will resume after as soon as the Oilers game concludes. Tom Gazzola Oil Stream pregame, postgame show from BP Westgate. Already a lot of people there hanging out with him. Oilers and Rangers, no score after the first period. On behalf of Zachary Koob Kubusch and Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a good night.